Hi guys, happy Thursday. Oh man, I am so stoked to be here today. I'm always stoked to talk to you guys, but today is probably my favorite thing we've ever gone over together, simply because it is literally what I do every day, so it's like really easy to talk about, passionately. So I'm super stoked to be here with you guys today. I'm going to wait till a couple of people join in. Tell me where you're calling in from or where you're tuning in from. And also, I highly, I'm so sorry. Excuse me, I have a frog in my throat. If you guys hear a bunch of loud background noise, I apologize sincerely. I don't know if everyone in my neighborhood just like doesn't have a job or all work from home like I do, because every day, no matter what day it is, no matter what time of day it is, if I am trying to record something or if I'm trying to go live somewhere, someone's mowing their lawn or someone's weed whacking or something of the sort. So if you guys hear any background noise, I'm so sorry. I will try to project my voice so you guys only hear me. But I am very excited about today. We've got Joel, Joe, Heather. We got a couple people here watching us live right now. The way it really is twin mom calling in from Minnesota. Hi, thank you guys so much for being here. So for today, oh, you guys don't hear anything? Oh, never mind, just kidding. I'm sorry, Wayne's like, so far we don't hear a thing. I was like, oh shoot, is my mic not working again? I'm glad you don't hear the background noise, and I'm trying my best to not get distracted by them because they are very loud. All right, so today I am so excited about today's chat, and I don't want to like burst any bubbles of anybody that came in today, but I spent some time this morning and last night gearing up for this chat. We're going to be talking about how to do marketing on social media for e-com or product-based businesses. So even if you are doing digital products, for example, that's what this is going to be about, because I personally sell digital products and obviously, because I'm here today, digital services, right? So I'm going to talk about how to do both, right? However, because I'm so passionate about this and because there is so much that we could possibly talk about, we are going to have to split this into two parts. I already know it. I'm already prepping for it. Most of the time, we'll get to the end of the call and I'll be like, oh, shoot, I've got 10 slides left. Let's pop it into part two. Today, I am being very intentional, and we are splitting this into two parts. And it's technically going to be 5 parts, but we're going to do parts 1 and 2 today. And I'm going to try my darndest to get parts 3 through 5 done next Thursday. So first and foremost, if you are not following, or whatever you call it, if you're not subscribed to the YouTube channel, highly recommend, because I do not want you to miss part 2. Part 1 is required, and I would be doing a disservice to you guys as a professional social media manager and content creator myself. I would be doing a disservice to you guys if I were to just jump right in and teach you how to make content. We have to optimize things first. We have to do our research. We have to understand what's doing well in your space first, which is what we're going to talk about today. So that's going to be parts 1 and 2. Then when we get back together next week, we're going to jump into actually content creation, community building, and obviously what we all actually want is the sales piece of it, okay? So how to actually sell on social. So again, I didn't want to burst anybody's bubble today that like maybe you guys were thinking you were going to come on here and learn how to be an influencer within an hour. It's taken me 4 years to do that. So I'm trying to take knowledge that I have made or I have learned by doing this myself for my own business, by doing this for like probably 500 other companies across the world over the past 2 years. And also, I've just been in social media marketing literally since I went to school. Like, I don't know if you guys know this, but I went to University of Florida for a social media marketing degree before social media marketing was even cool. So like, it was literally, what was kind of cool, weird fact about me, was the very first year that they offered that, because that's like, this was, Lord, what was that? 2011, I think. Ooh, I'm aging myself. That was 2011. The very first year that they offered the degree was my first year in school. And I was like, that sounds like a lucrative business. By the way, for about 10 years, it was not lucrative, but now it is. So thankfully, you guys are tuning in at the right time when social media is basically inevitable for you to be able to make sales with. So with that said, hi everyone. I see a bunch more people have joined in. I'm super excited you guys are all here. And then Erin said, thanks so much for the keyword topic last week. It really helped her. That's awesome. I am so glad to hear that. And for anyone who did not see that, that is a little bit about what we're talking about today too, but it's going to be in the social space. But if you're looking for a keyword master strategy, research strategy for keywords, SEO, whatever, in the Etsy space, head to our YouTube channel, go to the live section. You're going to see like videos, live, playlist, whatever. Go to the live section. Check out the video we did last Thursday. I basically went over, I think it was last Thursday. Might have been 2 weeks ago. But when I went over my like 4 to 5 step process of how to build out your keyword master list. Okay. So go check that out. And Erin, I'm so glad it helped. All right, guys, it's been about 6 minutes of me just talking your ear off. So let's get freaking started. Are you guys ready? Drop a thumb or a yes or an I'm excited, whatever in the comments, and let's get to it. All right, so today, as always, y'all know I have ADHD if you've been here with me for the past 14 weeks. So I have to follow a script of sorts, or I will just talk y'all's ear off for like the next 4 hours. So we are going to go through my little, like, it's not pretty, don't get me wrong, but we're going to go through my little script here today, all right? All right, so the first thing, like we talked about, we are going to jump into today, research, optimization, and then we're going to get into actually creating the content, building community, and getting sales. So what's kind of funny, if you guys can maybe see a pattern, this is the exact same process that I would use if I were starting an Etsy shop. It's the exact same thing. So we are going to apply a lot of stuff that we've done over the past 14 to 15 weeks together to build your Etsy shop to also make more sales for your Etsy shop using social. All right, so bear with me while we get through all these 5 steps. Diving first into research. Let me actually zoom in a little bit because this is very small. As you can see, my Google is like super zoomed in, but like the document itself is not for whatever reason. All right, so as you can see, when we're talking about research, we're going to be basically doing, I feel like I'm repeating myself every other week that we've talked about this, but we're basically going to do the exact same thing that we did in Etsy, right? Or what we've done in EverBee, right? So let's say you're on Pinterest, you're on Instagram, you're on TikTok, you're on YouTube, whatever. All of these locations are search engines, just like Etsy is, and just like what we utilize EverBee to go a little faster when we're searching, right? So there's something that just recently, I think it's technically been a thing since September of 2023. So, you know, almost a year, give or take. But it's really just gotten big and started to kind of be in your face like a month ago. And it's called Meta AI. So right now, if you were to open up your Instagram page or your Instagram account and you click on the little magnifying glass, that usually is considered the search bar. And then of course you can search your friends' names. You can search trendy shirts like I did here. But now what you'll see, assuming that your app is updated, now what you'll see is it's actually like a purple and blue and pink little circle that says Meta AI. So when you type that in, that is literally Instagram and every other platform for that matter. That's literally Instagram telling us what types of content people are actively searching for right now, what questions they're asking. And of course, if you were to type in, let's just say, in this particular case, trendy shirts or a couple of other things we're going to go through is like clay polymer earrings. There are also people, which you'll see when you do the Meta AI search, people are asking questions about those things. So I highly recommend, if you haven't seen that yet, at least just, again, we're just doing research today. We're not doing anything else. We're not making content. We're not jumping in anything crazy. I'm not making you guys like produce 5-minute long videos. I literally just want you to go test this out and get familiar with it. And in your space, see what people are looking up or see what is auto-populating from the platform, okay? So got a couple examples here. We've got Instagram, I got trendy shirts. You'll see the top 3 searches that Instagram is seeing from, you know, that key phrase. Same thing over here for TikTok. You'll type in, let's just say again, trendy shirts here, and you'll see you'll see a bunch, but in this case, you'll see 6 that I've screenshotted of the top performing videos in that space. But as you can see, you also have the ability to select accounts, videos, or lives, which is kind of cool. So we're really just going to be looking at whichever platform you want to get on, or all of them, whichever, we're researching again. We're not trying to make an account right now. We are strictly researching to figure out what is already doing well in the space that we want to get into, okay? The third place that I really want to highlight is Pinterest, because Pinterest is going to be the biggest one for Etsy, in my opinion. Excuse me. Everybody always asks me, Leslie, what platform should I be on? And it really just depends on what your goal is, like what you're trying to do. So, for example, I'm on all 3 of them, also on YouTube, but I don't do anything on YouTube, to be honest. But I'm on all 3 of them. But I'm on all 3 of them for different reasons. So again, going back to the goals, what are your goals? TikTok is very, very big for exposure. So reaching the potential of reaching a very large audience very quickly. And then they also really favor sending your content out to new people. Instagram, on the other hand, is more for community building, also reaching other people as well. But it's a really good location for making sales and community building and having like a loyal following that will buy anything that you send out if done right, right? The next one is Pinterest, like we talked about a second ago, is literally a search engine. So technically all of them could be search engines, but when we look at Instagram and TikTok, those are like social media platforms. We look at YouTube and Pinterest, that's like Google. That is, people are actively going on there to get something answered, or they're looking on there to shop for something. They're looking on there to be entertained, whatever the case may be. So Pinterest is my favorite place for Etsy sellers to be, because that's where people are actively going in with the search and potential shop mindset, okay? So that's what I just wanted to lightly go over. I don't have that as a slide, but people ask me that all the time, so I figured I would let you guys know what my feedback is on all 3 of those. Again, related to the goals that you have for your brand. Cool. Heather asked, where is this search at? So it depends on the platform that you're on, but it's literally going to be like the little magnifying glass, or the explore page, the discover page, or the search bar on Pinterest. So these searches are literally just screenshots of things that I did while I was in each of the apps. Aaron asked me a really good question. What are my thoughts on Facebook? I think Facebook is, first of all, I don't like Facebook very much. However, it is the biggest platform in the world, and they own Instagram. I don't know if you guys know that, but like Facebook is Meta. Meta owns Instagram. Meta owns Threads. Meta owns Instagram and Facebook ads, which Facebook is now just Meta, right? So what I highly recommend is, even if you're not on Facebook/Meta and you're not actively promoting or sending anything out or making content, whatever, there are multiple opportunities that relate directly to sales by being on Meta. So what I mean by this is, I highly recommend, and this is not your personal account, by the way, this is a business account, but your business account could be a personal brand and it could have your face on it, like mine does, for example. So I would like you to make a business account on Facebook, which again, we can talk about this next week, but at least just to answer the question for the time's sake for today, make a Facebook business account. And there's basically 3 or 4 things that I want you to do with this account. Number 1 is, first of all, we're going to talk about optimizing today. So being able to like make sure your stuff is working for you instead of you having to always work for it. So first of all, we're going to optimize the account to make sure people know like what the business is, what the business is selling, links to your Etsy shop, whatever, your Shopify, whatever you're on. Then what I want you to think about is Meta has Reels, which we're getting a little bit into the weeds now, so I don't want to confuse you guys. But if you're not familiar, Reels are the video form, short form video form of for Instagram and Facebook. So Meta recently, I want to say it was in the past year, started really pushing Reels on Meta as well as Instagram. So Instagram's already had them for like 2 years. We know those short form videos do really well on that platform. And then Meta was like, oh, this is working. We can get more ad revenue. So I'm going to start pushing them a lot on Facebook as well. So with that knowledge, if you have the ability to, which we'll talk about again next week, but with the content that you're potentially building in the Reels space on on Instagram, repurposing those or republishing those to Facebook is never a bad idea. Part 2 to this is without a Facebook business account, Meta business account, let's just call it Facebook, it's easier. Everybody knows what Facebook is. Without a Facebook business account, you are not able, and ads manager, by the way, they will go hand in hand, you are not able to promote any ads socially. So of course you can do TikTok ads, you can do Google ads, you can do Pinterest ads, but if you want to do Instagram ads or Facebook ads, you are not allowed to do that without a Facebook business account. Okay, so that's kind of part 2 of like why I think being on Facebook, like at minimum, is very, very important. The third piece is being able to communicate through Facebook groups. So that's one thing that none of the other platforms have. I mean, technically, I guess Pinterest has groups, but I don't like them anymore because they just have become like spam, like a bunch of people spamming in the groups themselves. But Facebook groups, as you guys might know, because you're potentially in the EverBee Facebook group, that is a really, really good location to connect with people that are in your space. So utilizing this same concept, type any keywords into the search bar. Let's do the exact same thing on Facebook and then search by groups. So for example, we have like Lansing handmade sellers or something like that, right? So I highly recommend that if you if you want to look up stuff like that, people are actively asking for you to be able to, promote yourself or promote your brand. A quick example for me is I obviously help like entrepreneurs or e-commerce sellers boost their brand through social. So if I went to stuff like Small Business Owners of Lansing or Online Business Female Entrepreneurs Group or something like that, would make a lot of sense. Okay, hope that answers your question. Wendy just said she has a Facebook page under her main page and can do ads. Yes, 100%. That's exactly what I'm saying. You have to have a business account, so whatever your main page is, and then you're able to run ads through that ads manager. So from my experience, you're not able to have a personal account. So like Leslie Cole could not publish ads, but my brand could. So hope that clears that up, makes sense. All right, let's keep on keeping on. Step 2, once we've done that, so once we have put all of those different keywords the same way that we would do it if we were on EverBee, if we were on Etsy, whatever, we're going to kind of do the exact same concept to find high-performing content that, here's my caveat, as you can see in caps, is also a business or an influencer. And I put that like other caveat simply because an influencer piece of content could lead you to a business by simply just clicking the tag that they put in the caption for the business they were working with. So I hope that makes sense. 2 different types of people, but we are looking for a business at the end, okay? The reason why is because we want to research what people are doing and are making money with. So if we just have a hobbyist, or if we just have someone who just likes making art at home and she's just trying to grow her following, but she's not necessarily trying to sell the art, that's not going to help us. We don't want to copy her. We want to get inspiration and be able to emulate businesses who are making sales in our space. Again, the exact same concept that we would go for, like I said, when we're searching on Etsy and utilizing EverBee to find those high performers. Obviously there's which I'm like, hey, Cody, are you watching? Like, go make us a social media dashboard. But like, obviously at this time, there's nothing that necessarily will tell us any of this content did anything for someone as it relates to sales. We don't have that yet, hasn't been invented yet. So we kind of have to do our due diligence by the next few steps to figuring out exactly what is working and what we should take in stride, okay? So step 3 is I want you, once you find, and again, this is like a rinse and repeat. This is something I do every single week for my own brand, and it's something I do every single week for clients because I'm a social media manager for a couple clients. This is exactly what I do for theirs as well, okay? So the second thing, or I guess the third thing you're going to do once you put in all those different keywords, all those different key phrases, is actually head to the accounts to see, the ones that were performing. Again, let's just use, I'll come up here. So like for this one, you can't really see it because I accidentally wrote over it, but you'll see polymer clay earrings. Okay, so that is the search that I was doing on Instagram. Here is an example of a piece of content that was performing well. So I went to that account and started to figure out why. So went to the highest performing pieces of content on that person's actual Instagram account, started getting an idea of like, what are their captions? What are their hashtags? How are they communicating with their audience? Are they engaging with their audience, or are they just receiving comments and not building that like loyal community? Are their content mostly reels? Are their content mostly carousels? Is it photo images? Stuff like that. That's what we're going to really do while we are researching this space, is really feeling like, okay, I see that they performed. So like, why? So really asking a couple of those questions, which we'll get into right now. So you'll see here a couple quick examples that I really loved on this particular person's page. Step 4 is to study the crap out of everything that I just said. So their captions, their hashtags, what the comments are saying. That's really, really important. And this is something else that we can even do on Etsy as well, like what reviews are actually saying. So not just 5 stars, but like what was something that made that particular item a 5-star experience for that person? What was, in this particular case, something about the actual product that they're selling, the video they posted, whatever, that the comments are actually responding back to? Is there anything that's like substantial that we could potentially take and use for our brand? Okay, so a couple of different things. And then also, as you can see here, how they film their videos, which again, we will talk about if you happen to see the Facebook post for this particular live earlier this week. Next week, we're going to talk about the 2 different ways that you can create content with and without your face, but still showing a face behind the brand, but in this case, a hand behind the brand, right? So even if you don't want to be on camera, there's still a very particular way that we need to film our videos in the space that we are in, which is why we're doing research to see exactly what is already performing in that area, okay? Michelle asked a quick question, so I want to make sure I hit this. How can we tell that they are performing well? I'm going to scroll up just a tiny baby bit. Here we go. So things that are generating buzz, comments, high reach, and again, we can't confirm this, but potentially sales. So what I like to personally look at is on everywhere that you, no matter where you go, TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram, doesn't matter. They will kind of show you the reach of the particular piece of content. So I'll actually scroll down a little bit on something else. I'm going to skip over a couple things and just show you what I mean. Maybe. You know what? No, I don't know where it is. Here we go. So on TikTok, for example, this got 6,000 views. That got 15,000 views. That got 13,000 views. And then when we look at these kinds of things, this was posted 6 days ago and already has 247 likes. And then if you scroll through these, there's also over 70 comments. So that's what I mean by performing well, is like, is there engagement? Are you seeing people say, I love this life hack, or this is such a cute product, I have to have this, blah, blah, blah. So like, oh my God, me to a T. That kind of stuff is an opportunity to open a conversation with that particular person if, you know, we wanted to try to sell to them in DM or something. So that's what I mean by when it's performing well. I highly recommend looking at things that have kind of like an equal ratio of reach and engagement. Unfortunately, what a lot of people will do is, like, especially clients that I've personally worked with, They want the influencer that has the biggest follower count. But we're not looking for that. We're trying to make sales. We're not trying to make friends, which that sounds bad. But we love friends, and we will include everybody in our friend group of our followers, our community, whatever. But the goal here of this training is to make sales, right? So what I highly recommend is kind of not looking at the follower count, not being your goal necessarily, but more so, how can I reach the biggest amount of people that are actually going to be interested in purchasing my product? And then how do I actually get them to do so? And that's usually going to come with some engagement. So you're going to look at engagement rates. You're going to see versus, this hit 500 people, only 500 people, but it had 100 pieces of engagement. That's potentially 100 new customers, right? Instead of someone that maybe has 150,000 followers, but their engagement rate is like 1% or less than 1%, that more than likely means they don't have an engaged community of people, okay? Hope that answers your question. Let's keep it going. So the next thing that I want to go over, this is not necessarily a step, but it's a little hot tip that I use for my clients and for myself, is if you look at the tagged section of that person's account. So as you can see, we were going through a couple of examples. This girl was doing fantastic. These people were doing fantastic. So most people are going to look at strictly the post or the reels or the stories. But in our case, because you have me on your side, I also highly, highly recommend looking at the tagged section. Most people skip this, and that's probably the best section that someone could have, because that is content that is working for them. It is doing all of the work. These are people that have actively reshared, whether it be content or they've taken a picture with this person's product, and then they put it on social media, and now you have the ability to repurpose that. Like, people, especially if you can grow your account, people would love to be featured on your page. That is literally why they tagged you. So being able to also not just look at their particular content that they made, that they self-curated, but also what other people curated for them. And like I said, if it's someone that is authentic, organic, and truly a customer rather than an influencer, I highly recommend looking at those, okay? Another cool thing in the tagged space, this is again a little hot tip, another opportunity potentially for sales or potentially reaching the amount of people that you want to reach, is you can actually go through each of these individual people, because these are all tagged photos, right, that were wearing her earrings. So if you were doing polymer clay earrings, these people actively buy that because they're actively talking about it. So not only do they purchase it, but they're actively advocates for her product as well, which could only help you guys out in the future, okay? So what we could do is go into these. These are literal people. These are all like 1, 2, 3, 9 potential random people that are not the brand. We can go into each of those, engage with their content, and kind of start putting our brand on their radar now as potentially another opportunity to either join a community or purchase your products. Okay, hope that makes sense. All right, let's move on now. Actually, before I do, I see we've got some people that said some good tips. Someone said they just got the email for this training. I'm sorry it went out to you late. It was supposed to go out at 9:50. I apologize. But let me know before I move on to part 2 of how to actually optimize these accounts. What questions do you guys have for me about the research piece? It could be any of the 5 social media platforms we talked about. What questions do you have? Even ask me personalized or tailored questions about your individual brand, your individual niche. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee, which is, by the way, the first time I've actually had coffee on Coffee with EverBee in probably 5 weeks, but I am drinking it today because I need to wake up. But I'm going to take a sip of this, take a little breather. Let me know in the comments what questions you have about part 1 research, and then we'll get into part 2 optimize, okay? Ooh, that's good. I put almond milk in today. Didn't know how I was going to feel about it. It's pretty good. I don't know if you guys like almond milk. I don't, but I got a vanilla version, so that was interesting. I liked that. Unsweetened version is not my friend. All right, so we have 2 different questions. How do you change your page name on Facebook? That is a really good question. I'm sure you could easily, type that into Google and figure out, it'll give you the exact step-by-steps. But what you're going to want to do first and foremost, Linda, is it is not going to be your personal page. You are actually going to build a Facebook business page from scratch. So let me pull up. I got to log out of my own account real fast, and I'm going to share my screen over here. Maybe, baby. 1 second. All right, let's do share this tab instead. All right, there we go. So what you're going to want to do, if you haven't already, is click this button right here, create a page for a celebrity or business. I don't know how to get that to go away. There we go. And then you would have to log in. So it's telling me that I can't do anything because it wants me to log in first, because you cannot have a Facebook business page without having it attached to a personal account. So it's like Leslie Cole Gallant owns this business or brand page. Okay, so you'll see it says get started is grayed out, and that's the reason, because I'm not logged in, so that's why. But that's exactly the link that you would click, or when you're trying to get into YouTube, good Lord, when you're trying to get into Facebook, for example, create a page from scratch in that way. However, if you are, I'm going to stop sharing real fast so that we can just talk together for a sec. However, if you're trying to just change the name of your current Facebook business page, don't change Linda to Woodcrafter in your pocket. Like your personal page. You have to have the business page, right? So once you do that, you just need, I think you can do it. I'm pretty sure you can do it yourself. Hold on, let me just see. Actually, I'll try to see if I can do it for you guys real fast. Let's see. So I'm pretty sure you're able to make the adjustment in your Facebook account. It won't let me, sorry. So I'm pretty sure you're able to do it by just changing the settings or going to edit business page in Facebook. However, depending on how long your Facebook has been alive and how active or how long it has been since you were active, you might have to put a support ticket in with Facebook to request a name change. I had to do that once for a client, so just be mindful of that. So I can't really show you exactly how to do it without logging into my own brand. But what I want you to do is literally exactly the way that you asked me. Type that into Google and a Meta support article will come up that will give you all the links you need to make that happen, okay? The next one, how can you tell what is performing well on Pinterest? Very good question. Let's log into Pinterest real fast. So first of all, if you have, there's certain things like Tailwind and stuff like that you can get for Pinterest that will, give you these analytics a little bit better. But I'm going to, let's see, try to see if I can find one that's going to give us the best. It's going to show us that. So hold on 1 sec. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Let's see. Here we go. There we go. All right, you guys should be able to see my screen now. All right, so I just typed in Mother's Day signs, for example. So what we don't want to do is look for these few things. We don't want to look for necessarily promoted by, and we also don't want anything that's like Amazon related, because that's not Etsy, right? That's a very different manufactured type of item. Usually we're going to want to look for these kinds of things, and especially if there is a hand or a face or something in it that we can tell this was authentically made by a person. Okay, so let's just say, trying to see if I can find one. Let's just click on this one, for example. Unfortunately, it's not doing as well as I would have hoped on the actual thing itself. But what I'm looking for, by the way, just so you guys can see where my head is going, is I am looking for two things. Well, that's not it. That's also just a quick note. If something happens, which you guys couldn't see it because it took me to another page, but when you see promoted by Amazon, this will take you to Amazon. So that's the reason we don't want to click on that. We want to click on ones that are actually like something, again, Etsified or something of that nature. Unfortunately, I'm not able to show you or see that without my my app. So I highly recommend, if you have the ability to get like Tailwind or something of the sort that can actually kind of show you how things are doing, I would recommend. But also what I would say is Pinterest is more so, in my opinion, going to be for research of like trends and types of content and aesthetics of content. So not necessarily something that we are going to go in and try to like emulate what they're doing because it's high performing, but instead knowing that Pinterest is a search and shop engine. So knowing that, like, let's just say this particular Pinterest account, we found this item, we really liked it, we clicked on Mother's Day sign, then we went to that person's Pinterest page and they had 1 million views a month. That's telling me something. That's telling me that like at least they're getting views, which theoretically speaking could also be generating sales. Okay, so that's kind of what I mean by there's really nothing to see without an additional app, kind of like EverBee, to be honest. Without an additional platform, you're not able to see that on Pinterest as readily as you can see on other platforms. But again, if we go to the person's account itself that posted that pin, that's how I like to kind of see if they're doing well or not, okay? Someone asked, am I able to clarify how to see the Meta AI tool? Yes, of course. One moment, please. Oh, let me get my phone real quick. All right, so I hope you guys can see this. I don't know if you will be able to. Yes, no, maybe so, kind of, a little bit. Y'all gonna see my neon signs that I have all over my room. All right, so what we're gonna do is this button right, oh, where am I at? This button right here is usually our search button. So we're gonna click that magnifying glass. And now at the top, it says ask Meta AI anything, okay? So let's just say in this case, how to make, I can't type anything. How to make money on, here we go, okay? So if I take how to make money on, so that's all I typed into the Meta AI. Now you can see these 3 things are Meta AI oriented questions that other people are asking. And then these are our normal search things that used to be there, have always been there. So now, how to make money online fast, how to make money online without investment, without skills, blah, blah, blah. So that's Meta AI telling us exactly what people are searching at this particular time. So kind of the same way that I've said EverBee does sales that are happening right now on Etsy, Meta AI is kind of showing us what people are actively looking up in whatever that space is, whatever the keyword or the question you put in is, okay? Someone asked if I could share a link to this PDF. Potentially. I haven't decided yet. I might. I don't know. I might. The only reason I would say no, just so you guys know, is simply because I want to kind of protect the privacy of the content of the people that I'm sharing. So I am using them to kind of show you guys some different examples of what you could do. But I also don't necessarily want to have everybody that watches this have all of their stuff, if that makes sense. So I'll think about it and I'll let you know. If all else fails though, I can just take the examples out and give you the steps. So potentially, I'll give you that answer next week once we do part 2, okay? Can you delete a Facebook business page and start again? Absolutely, very simple. You would just go to like, I think it's settings, deactivate, if I'm not mistaken. I haven't done this in a while, but you have to like deactivate the Facebook page, and then all you would have to do is log in to your Facebook account, your personal Facebook account, and then just click that little button we did again, create a business page. Okay, very simple. Let's see. Someone said, I just set up a Facebook page and I'm not sure that I did it right. It's getting multiple ads that have nothing to do with it. I'm not sure if I really set up a business page. So you would know if you did or didn't. So that more than likely means you did not, because you would have to create a business page with the steps that I just showed. So go to, like, just log out of Facebook, log back in, or like you're about to log back in, click create a business page, and then it will walk you through the steps. It will ask you for a website. It will ask you for a address. If you're like a brick and mortar store, like you'll know if it's a Facebook business page or a Facebook personal page. Cool. Also, someone said nice sofa. Where's that? Thank you. I live in Michigan, and I get tattoos for every new place that I visit. So I visited, and then I stayed, and now I'm stamped with a snowflake forever, I guess. All right, let's go ahead and share screen and get back into the optimization. Again, if you have any other questions about the research phase, don't hesitate to pop them in there. Also, if you're watching this replay and you did not get to join us for a live conversation, that's totally fine. Hi, I want to acknowledge you guys too. Thanks for being here. But if you do have any questions as you are watching the video, I am literally the person that responds to your comments. So it'll say EverBee, but it is Leslie. So go ahead and drop those questions and I can get back to you, okay? Oh, this is a really good question. Is there a way to create a business page that is not automatically selected to all of your personal friends? I'm pretty sure that there is. Hold on one second. I know there is. I just don't know which direction to send you quite yet. All right, so if you do, let's see. Sorry, I'm trying to find the answer real fast. So there is a way to do it, and it's going to take me a little bit longer to explain it to you or to find it fast enough for this call. But Tracy Post, if you are in the Facebook, I am going to write down the Facebook group, EverBee Facebook group. I'm going to write down this note for myself to remember to put this in the Facebook group, okay? So I'm going to do the research for you. I'm going to find that, and then I'm going to pop it in the Facebook group. So business page not sent to friends. Because there's a way, basically Meta will prompt you with like, do you want to invite your friends? And the answer is like, absolutely not. That's how I did my Instagram page, and I still do it all the time for the first 2 years. So I know there's a way to do it. Let me figure it out. I will get back to you in the Facebook group. If you're not in the EverBee Facebook group, highly recommend. Natalie, if you're still with us, if you wouldn't mind sharing the link for anyone to join the Facebook group, because I actually have a really fun announcement at the end of this call that's related to the Facebook group. So highly recommend joining it. Natalie, if you wouldn't mind popping that in there. Perfect. And Heather said her business page, like her followers don't, or her friends, whatever, don't see that. So that's perfect. Okay. So yes, you're welcome, Tracy. I will get back to you as soon as I can. All right. So next up, we've done the research. We know, give or take, what people are looking for in our space. We know what other people in our space, like the top performing creators, are making that is performing well. So now we have that research phase done. Now it is time to actually create and, or if you've already created, optimize our profiles. And by the way, everything I'm about to say is completely applicable to every single account. To be honest, if you want to copy and paste and then just make it TikTok centric, Pinterest centric, etc., that's what I do, and it makes it easier, especially creates consistency if people find you in more than one location. Okay, so the first thing we're talking about is your bio. So for a bio, technically has a bunch of other different names. There's like about, bio, business description. It's all the same thing. It's just telling people about you, who you are, and why they should stick around. So what I like to put here is, even though you only have a few short characters, your bio should answer these questions. Who are you creating content for on that platform? What will you be offering people should they decide to stick around? So are you doing entertaining things? Are you creating custom orders? Are you doing gifts? Blah, blah, blah. Again, why should they stick around? And then how can they engage with you further? Example, call to action, or AKA call to action. So something that allows them to buy from you, see what products you have, join your email list, check out your other social pages, whatever call to action of sorts, right? And then of course, anything else that's important for your ideal buyer or community member. So I have a couple examples here, all in the Etsy space, okay? So we have 650 plus unique polymer clay cutters, handmade, color recipes and tutorials, whatever. This is, again, you have very, very few characters to deal with, and these are the keywords that she chose to use. But on all of these, you will see a little blue clickable link, which is their call to action of sorts, whether they are actively doing a call to action like this girl right here, shop my Etsy, DM for custom orders. There are a couple of people who are actively literally asking someone to take an action, or they are at minimum providing their link in there. Quick small note on links in case you did not know this. Instagram, you can pop a link on literally day one. They are way better, in my opinion, at community building, like we discussed earlier, and allowing you to literally be a business from the start. TikTok, however, if you decide to go that route, you have to have 1,000 followers first. So I don't love that, but you know, it is what it is. But again, like I said, TikTok can help you grow very quickly. So if you're able to post the right content, hit that 1,000 followers, post the link. You know, it's neither here nor there. It's not good. It's not bad. But just keeping in mind, you're going to have to post some content first before you're able to post that link. But what I will say is with the right content, you can hit that very quickly. For example, I started my TikTok in May of 2022, and I posted 106 videos, which is insane now that I look back on it. But 106 videos over the course of May 1st through May 31st, 2022. And I hit 60,000 followers in that month because of the frequency and the content and the type of content that I was getting out. Okay, so just keep that in mind. It's not that big of a deal, but Pinterest, YouTube, Instagram, all of those, Facebook, of course, all of those are going to allow a link from the get-go, day one. Okay, got a couple of questions over here. I want to make sure I hit them real quick. Someone said, why is this so blurry? I don't know. Mine is not blurry. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. Y'all let me know if that's still blurry because mine is very, very clear. So I apologize if it is. All right. So someone asked, how do I get invited to all of your lives? Oh, thank you. Feel free to come in. It's every single Thursday at 10 a.m. So all you have to do is if you're in the Facebook group for EverBee, I highly recommend joining that. It looks like Natalie has not been able to pop that in here. So I'll actually do it right now. Give me one sec. Oh, nope, I can't. I logged out of Facebook, so now it's mad at me. I'm sorry. So so it's called EverBee. Hold on one second. EverBee members - Etsy seller growth. Okay. Let's just do. Yeah, I agree. We're gonna go ahead and just make it a little bit bigger. So that's full screen, if you will, is what Darby said to make it a little bigger. So again, EverBee members - Etsy seller growth. So I give you guys every Tuesday a reminder that we're going live, and then every Thursday at 9:50 in the morning that we're going live. So you can do it there, or also every single Thursday at 10 a.m. we are live on YouTube. So highly recommend subscribing to the channel and clicking the bell icon on our page. You can do it actually at the top of this video that you're watching right now, and that will notify you when we're going live. Okay. Someone said art prints available. Yes. All right. So let's go over here. Now let's talk about what is considered. I'm gonna have to zoom out so you guys can see everything. What's considered your name. Okay. So, most people think your name is going to be like Leslie Cole, or like you can see here, Evolution Freelancing is my name on TikTok. Okay. So for some reason there's a weird, hold on one second. I want to make sure you can see everything. I don't know why this is being weird. There we go. All right. So some people think that that's your name. But when we're actually looking at a name or a title, think about your Etsy shop title. It's the exact same concept. So we have our Etsy shop name. So let's just say Leslie's Puzzles is my name. I'm just making this up. And then under that is the Etsy shop title. That's, what is it, like 100 characters or less, that basically is telling someone and telling Etsy and telling search engines exactly what that shop is going to be about, who the products are for and what products they are going to have in the shop, right? So we need to look at our bio as the exact way to do the exact same thing. So as you can see, what I'm talking about are the highlighted sections. So this is like, it could say, you know, I'll use mine right here. It could have said Leslie, and that's it, or Leslie Cole or whatever, right? Which is fine, but this is an opportunity to be found by search engines. And again, because of Meta AI, we know that people are actively looking up certain things. So if you want to be found by those certain things, the same way that we would use appropriate and high-performing tags on Etsy, we're going to do it on social media too. So polymer clay cutters and earrings. That's literally her name on Instagram. She doesn't even have like an actual name. Like that's literally what hers is. Then the next one is this girl named Jen, personalized knitted wire art. So that is telling search engines, that is telling social media platforms, and that is telling the person that comes to the account what they can expect. Mine is Leslie, content creator and freelancing mentor. So I am being found by content creator, freelancing content, freelancing creator, freelancing mentor, content creator mentor. Do you see where I'm going with this? So it's the exact same way that we would create a shop title, or the exact same way we would create a strategy around titles for our listings. We are going to change the name of our account to do the exact same thing. So this is the boldened section right below your actual your actual Instagram, TikTok, etc. handle. So your handle is going to be this guy right here, and your shop name or title, whatever we're going to call it, is the thing right below it. Okay, hope that makes sense. Let me know if there's any questions about that. Someone asked, will I share this presentation? If you didn't join in at the time when I answered that question, I'll hit it again one more time. At this time, I don't believe I'm going to share it, simply because I want to make sure that the people that we are going over their accounts are protected. But I will maybe give the steps next week, okay? So once we have optimized the bio and we have optimized our shop name, or what? Good Lord. I'm so used to saying shop name that now I'm going to say it forever. The Instagram, TikTok, Pinterest, whatever name. Now that we've done those two things, the second way to optimize is by welcoming new people with two very strategic locations. Okay. The first one is going to be your what's called highlights section, or playlist section if you're on TikTok. So if you're on Instagram, it's going to be called highlights. If you're on TikTok, it's called playlist. If you're on YouTube, it's called a trailer. So like if you have a video that you're promoting and you want the new people that come to your page to be like welcomed or something of the sort, you can actually launch a YouTube trailer, and then that will be shown to everybody who has not come to your account yet. Okay. The fourth thing is Pinterest. This is kind of like your boards. So you have the ability to build out all these different optimized boards and kind of categorize different things of where you want things to be placed. You can create a board and make it one of the top ones that people see that is actively calling out people who are new. So what I usually do is called a start here board. So it's like, it literally directs them to be like, if you're new, welcome, start here. And then you can have a bunch of things in there that are going to actively, hopefully cultivate those people into followers, into subscribers, whatever. Okay. The second thing, and again, this is going to be for, I'm trying to think of which platforms. Definitely Instagram and TikTok, potentially also YouTube. But we're just going to talk Instagram and TikTok for now, is going to be your pinned content. So Instagram allows you to do 3 pinned pieces of content on your feed and up to 3 pinned reels. So reels are, again, the short form videos, right? TikTok allows you to do the exact same thing, 3 pinned pieces of content. So let's go through each of those together. So highlights, which are these little circles right here, okay? So highlights are created by saving stories to highlight collections. So if you ever wondered, like, how do people make these highlights, or how do they just keep building off of them? Why are there things that date back 180 days? It is strictly because that was posted to their story on Instagram, and then they literally clicked add to highlight and then added it to that one, okay? Stories only last 24 hours, but if you want to keep them for longer, you add them to a highlight reel, all right? So what kind of things should be in your highlights, or what kind of highlights should you have? Here's some examples of very, very high-performing Etsy people that are on social media, on Instagram. They got testimonials, reviews, pictures or videos actually shared by customers of their products, example of your available products, and you could even add links to purchase them, because again, a highlight is something that was shared from a story, okay? So if you want to do it that way, links can be shared in stories, which means they will also be forever live. The link, as long as the link isn't broken, it'll be forever live on your highlight reel as well. Another one I personally like to do is things that like show a little bit more about you. Like, social media is social, right? Like, it's supposed to be social. It's supposed to be about community building. It's supposed to be about being like yourself while also being able to promote your business. It's about getting supportive people who want to buy from you no matter what, because they love you. Okay. So when we say that, get to know you. So this person had like books and more books. So she loved books, for example, even though her thing had nothing to do with books. Okay. Another thing here is blog post that this person has written. And then there was another one that now I just realized I didn't take a picture of it, but it was literally called getting to know blank. So like Leslie, or about me, or whatever. So it was like day in the life, like that kind of stuff that really made it feel like a real person rather than just a brand asking them to buy stuff. Okay. So that's our highlights. The second thing is going to be those pinned posts or videos. Again, this is going to be Instagram and TikTok for sure, potentially also YouTube, but we're just going to talk about those two today. So they allow you to pin 3 pieces of content to the top of your account. These will allow someone to get to know you, your products, your unique value proposition, any sales that you currently have, etc., a lot faster than having to scroll through your page. Okay, so that's the reason for these pinned posts. As you can see, I have examples of TikTok pinned post, and you'll see this little, let me zoom in a little bit. Ooh, too far. There we go. You'll see this little guy right here that's like a little push pin, a little thing that you, a little tack, if you will. So that means on Instagram good Lord, sorry, now I'm all over the place. There we go. That means it is a pinned post, and this is very simple to do, by the way. Once you curate something and you want it to be pinned, which we're going to talk about why you should do that and how you should do it, you can literally just go to edit and then add to pinned or add to featured. It'll do it for you, okay? So the question that I get all the time is, okay, Leslie, a pinned post sounds awesome, but what do I pin? And a lot of people that I've worked with, especially influencers that I manage, they think their highest performing piece of content. My highest performing piece of content, say that 10 times fast, was over, I think, 7 million, maybe 6.5 million people saw it. As you can see, that is not what I chose to put, because that piece of content really wasn't going to help my business grow. Yeah, it reached a lot of people, but what I want to do is tell a story, direct someone where I want them to go, and convince someone to either follow or buy from me faster. So my particular TikTok, for example, is I teach people how to make money online by offering services or products, obviously, like we are doing today. So you'll see the best career choice for people with ADHD. So I'm telling people about who I am, what I struggle with, how my brain works, and getting them in my circle. And I'm talking to them like a human while also selling my products and selling my services, right? So finding a way to combine those step by step of how to blank. You can make blank by blank, okay? So that's what I decided to put there, even though they didn't reach the most amount of people, simply because it was going to tell a story. It was going to direct them to where I wanted them to go. It was going to create that community between us, etc. Obviously, then I also have Instagram examples below as well. These, by the way, can be anything. So if you want to do a carousel, you'll see the evolution and the secret sauce. Those are both carousels, but the one in the middle that says 30 days really big is a reel. So it really just depends on what you want to publish and is going to do the work for you. Again, that's the whole reason for optimizing your accounts, right? So what is going to do the work for you? What type of content is going to make the most sense, etc.? That's what we're going to put up there, okay? Ideas, okay? So ideas for those pinned posts. So here's a quick example that I really love that this person did. What transfer tape do you use is the picture obviously I have here, but this was a video that they created that reached so many people, by the way, like tens of thousands of people, that was literally just answering FAQs that their customers had or your customers could have. That's all it was. And that was pinned to her thing. And then people already had the answers to a question that they might have that might be an objection for them wanting to work with her, buy something from her, etc. Okay. So getting to know you and your business. That could be 1 or even 2 pinned posts. I want you to get deep. I want you to get raw. Why does your business exist? Who do you help? Why do you care about helping those people? Again, make social media social again, okay? FAQs like we discussed, what types of products you sell, and the value that they can bring to someone's life. So instead of just saying, these are my products on a carousel, like why would someone care? Why would someone continue to look through the rest of your account to determine if they want to stick around or buy something from you, okay? So guys, that's all that we have time for today. Like I said, I knew it was going to be 2 parts because that is just the research and optimization phases are so imperative, okay? So if you are not already, subscribe to the YouTube channel because I will be live next Thursday with it's already made, by the way. I've already made the PDF. Like I know what we're talking about. We're going to get into community building, how to make content for your particular niche, and how to actually translate that into sales, okay? So follow us, subscribe, whatever you want to call it. Please also like this video that you're watching actively as well because that'll help us reach even more people and be able to help you guys even further. Also, one last thing, because I was promoting the Facebook group a second ago, if I want to also let you guys know, since I haven't told anybody on YouTube yet, we are hosting a live on location interview in Central America next month. Like, EverBee's going international, dude. I am so excited. I cannot wait. And we're actually maybe going international twice this year, okay? So we've got so much stuff on the docket for you guys. We are growing EverBee as much as we can. We are helping you guys out. We are talking to multi-million-dollar Etsy sellers. So I'm super stoked. If you're not in the Facebook group, go join it because that is where we are going to be giving you all of the information about that live on location interview we are going to be doing in Central America in 4 weeks from Tuesday. Okay. So thank you guys so much for being here. I cannot wait to chat with you next Thursday. Oh yes. Woodcrafter in your pocket. You guessed it right. We are going to Belize. It's unbelievable. I'm very excited. So we're going to Belize on June 18th. Get in the Facebook group. We'll be going live on YouTube that day, talking to a multi-million-dollar print-on-demand seller who does Etsy, eBay, Amazon, all the above. And I cannot wait to help you guys learn from their mistakes, learn from their strengths, learn from everything they've already done. And they've been doing this for, I think, over a decade. So get in the Facebook group. Again, tune in next Thursday for part 2 of this one. And cheers, guys. Congrats to another successful Coffee with EverBee chat, and I will talk to you guys next week. Thanks, guys. See ya.